Okay, welcome everybody. We've got 91 people into the room, so I think most people are on the call that are going to join us this morning. Welcome to our State of the City address. It's an annual event, but this is the first year that we have done this live through webinar. On behalf of the Quinny West Chamber, I would like to welcome everyone to our State of the City address. I would especially like to welcome our guest speakers today, Mayor Quincy West is the best Harrison, and City of Quincy West CAO David Clazy. The mayor is well supported today with many city councilors joining our call, along with senior staff and key employees who work closely with the Quinny West Chamber of Commerce and the business community. From the Quinny West Chamber of Commerce, I would like to welcome our president, Carrie Gregoire, along with other members of the QWCC board that are on the call today. The close working relationship between the city and the business community and community groups is why this city continues to grow and thrive. And I am pleased to see such great representation from all these groups joining us today. I would like to take a moment now to introduce our guest, our sponsor. Access to workers and skills training are two of the biggest issues facing many of our local businesses. So it is very appropriate that our sponsor for today is the Center for Workforce Development. Please welcome their Executive Director, Brad Labate, to say a few words.
Thank you, Susan. I love sponsoring this event because I love hearing Mayor Harrison update us on all the great work that's gone on in Quinny West. And in the words of Mayor Harrison, I like stealing them. If you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go together. And I stole that from you a couple years ago. The Center for Workforce Development is one of 26 boards across the province with a mandate to do local level labor market research and workforce development. We cover Hastings, Prince Edward, Lennox, and Addington County. And, you know, we're funded by the Ministry of Labor Training and Skills Development as part of a federal provincial agreement. It's important that we understand what's going on in the community and address the labor market issues that businesses and job seekers face. And we can't do that without going on forward with everybody's input to things. We can do research and look at numbers, and they will only tell us so much. Speaking to employers, speaking to job seekers, getting to the ground and understanding what's actually going on, it helps identify those true gaps that we're seeing in this community. So with that, I will tell you, I will only promote one thing today. We are currently running the Employer One survey. We do this annually. This year it's being run across all of Eastern Ontario, but the 6 boards in Eastern Ontario. It's important that you as employers take the time to complete this survey because it's your opportunity to have your voice heard. We share these results with the Ontario government, and it helps guide both locally, regionally, provincially programs for you as employers. So with that, thank you, and I look forward to hearing Mayor Harrison.
Thank you.
Okay, I would like to now call on the 2021 President of the Quinny West Chamber of Commerce, Carrie Gregoire, to introduce our guest speakers today.
Thank you, Suzanne. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for taking the time to join us today for this great event. It is my pleasure to introduce your 2 guest speakers for today. Prior to his election as mayor in 2014, Mayor Harrison served as a Quinny West councillor from 1997 to 2014 and a deputy reeve of Murray Township from 1991 to 1997. Mayor Harrison won re-election to a 2nd term as Quinny West mayor in October 2018. He intends to continue his focus on ensuring residents have access to healthcare, upgrading infrastructure, and working on a solution to the local affordable housing crisis. Also joining us today is David Clazy. In July of 2020, Quinny West City Council announced David Clazy as the newly appointed Chief Administrative Officer. David has been working for the City of Quinny West since 2003 and previously held the position of Director of Corporate and Financial Services and City Treasurer for the last 11 years. Thank you both for your time today. I would like to ask David Clazy to please start his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Unmute.
There we go. Sorry about that. So thank you very much, Suzanne and Carrie and the Chamber for inviting me to say a few words today. Yeah, as mentioned, my name is David Clazy and I'm the Chief Administrative Officer for the city, and certainly very excited to be in this new role as Chief Administrative Officer. You know, my past 11 years as Director of Corporate and Finance has allowed me to have quite an opportunity to work with all the departments in the city, and I think that's certainly helpful moving into this new role. One of the things that I was quite excited about moving into the role was the fact that the city had just approved a new strategic plan, and I think it certainly provides a very great roadmap for us moving forward. And so I just wanted to take a few minutes today to just give a few highlights of that plan and hopefully give everybody kind of a sense of some of the things that we'll be doing moving forward. So with every strategic plan, one of the most important things that we need is certainly a vision and a mission statement. And so the vision statement in the city's new strategic plan is a healthy, vibrant community where generations grow and prosper. And to go along with that, our new mission statement is to provide excellent municipal services and leadership as we work together to make Quinny West a great place to live, work, and play. And I think those are two great guiding principles for us to move forward. And I don't think too many people can argue with those moving forward. But it's also important that while they are our large guiding kind of principles, we do need a little more direction. Those are very broad statements. So the plan also includes 5 strategic directives that myself and our senior management team, along with council, will be working from moving forward. So I'm just going to take a couple minutes and just briefly talk about each one of those, just to give you a little more information. So the first priority is a healthy, vibrant community. And of course, we want to create a community that encourages healthy, active living for people of all ages and abilities in the city. So some of the things that we'll be doing to support this are looking at our housing needs and creating affordable housing strategy and working with some of our partners, looking at recreation and culture and some of our natural assets, and if we can develop those even further. And also looking at, you know, some of our trail network throughout the city. And I think it's important that not only has council adopted this plan, but last fall when we approved our capital budget, council actually approved a 2-year capital budget for the first time. And they approved over $4 million over the next 2 years to basically go towards this priority. So upgrading some of our parks, sports fields, trail network, those types of things are all things that are on the horizon. And I think Mayor Harrison will have a few more items to talk about in regards to this as well. Our second priority is infrastructure, and I think this is a fairly self-explanatory one. You know, it's very important that we continue to maintain our city infrastructure because it's really the basis for everything that we do. And you know, this is looking at continuing to modernize and improve our road network, our water, wastewater network. It also includes active transportation. And over the next 2 years, council's committed over $21 million to road upgrades, bridge upgrades, and some of that money is also into active transportation as well. The third priority is economic prosperity. And of course, we want to create and foster economic activity in the area. And, you know, it doesn't matter what sector we're talking about, whether it's industrial or commercial or agriculture, to name a few, we want to be here to help and support. And it's from my point of view, it's two parts. One is certainly, you know, yes, we want to attract new businesses here to the city, but it's also about the retention and working with the current businesses that are here and helping them to continue to do well and move forward. And the other part of this is fostering relationships. So whether it's with other municipalities or of course 8-Wing, which is obviously a big part of our community in the region, it's working with them to help us all move forward and work together better. The fourth strategic priority is environmental stewardship. And this is of course just acting as stewards for our natural environment. And so basically making sure that whenever we're making decisions here at the city, we're taking the environment into consideration as we're moving forward and trying to do whatever we can to minimize the city's environmental footprint. So a few of the things that we're undertaking over the next couple of years are we're in the process of ordering some hybrid vehicles for our fleet. We're looking at an electric ice resurfacer for the Trenton Arena, which would be something new for us. And also looking at installing a number of vehicle chargers throughout the city. So some of those will be at our city facilities, as well for our own fleet, as well as some for the public. And we're looking at some of our parking lots and some of our parks as well to help with that as we move forward. The final priority is what we refer to as operational excellence. And so this, looks at communication and providing service. So, what we want to try and do as best we can is be open and transparent here as a municipality and do whatever we can to try and ensure that our customers are highly satisfied with the service that we're delivering. And so one thing with that is we're investing over $2 million over the next couple of years to look at some new computer technology, some new hardware, software, and also to continue to expand our fiber network throughout the town, throughout the city. So it's certainly evident that council is certainly behind this plan and working to help us move forward. So I know that was a pretty quick overview, but I don't want to take up too much of Mayor Harrison's time. So I encourage anybody who wants some more information on our plan. It is on our website, so please feel free to go on there and check it out and get some more information. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to who everybody wants to hear from, Mayor Harrison.
Okay.
I'll also just remind everybody that the Q&A is open. So we are going to save some time at the end for questions for either David or the mayor. So if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much, Suzanne. Am I not quite? No. Am I good now?
You are good.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thanks, David, for the good opening remarks and giving people the direction that we're following. Quinny West Chamber of Commerce, thank you, and Carrie, for your leadership and helping get us through and get the chamber through the challenges of 2021. And 20 is behind us. So let's look forward to things that are going to be, well, maybe challenging, but just a little bit more inviting for us. And again, thanks, Brad. Appreciate the work you do. And yes, we are stronger together. I believe in that. And I think that if 2020 teaches us anything, look after ourselves, look after our family. At work, it can be replaced, but when you're home, that's the place you need to be, and you need to look after everyone there. And if you have any of your associates that are having any difficulty, reach out. 2020 has demonstrated that, yes, if someone needs any kind of help, reach out and do your best. And if you can't do it, get somebody who can. We've got to do that. I want to also thank all the members of council because yes, they're a vibrant group with many ideas, but also the desire to work hard and make Quinny West the best and serve the residents of this area to the best of their ability. And I thank you very much for all the work you do on a regular basis. Also, the challenge of virtual, I hope that this goes well. I'm sure I've got city staff here with me, and we've got the best staff in any place as far as I'm concerned. And I still am on meetings like the rest of you, and I know that we're doing well, and it's because of the people who work for the city of Quinny West. Great workforce and a great group to work with. Next one. Yes, remember when we could meet together, how much fun it was, how many great conversations we had, and yes, we're looking forward to the day when we can do that again. Thanks. COVID city responses, of course, 8-Wing did some last year at this time, quarantined the cruise ship people, and almost 1,002 positive cases. So they showed us right there, if you have policies that you put in place and people follow those policies, it will work. It will work. But and that's the trick. We're Quinny West Council. We're doing our meetings virtually, and we have done it that way, and we're going to continue until we like to get a vaccine out here and get some kind of positive direction that we can move in another direction, but that's not here yet. All frontline workers, yes, we owe so much to so many for just continuing to serve and to be there when you're needed. And right now we got Hearts for Healthcare out there. So if you have any, put it up, get it out so people can see it. It's a great, just great admiration for people who are there on a regular basis every day doing your best. Thank you very much. We've got the city website, social media, we're using that as well. And we got a community resource page. And thanks to the people working there, Hannah Brown's in charge of that, doing a great job. And we're moving forward. City has launched the free public Wi-Fi downtown. It costs $15,000 for the city, but the Digital Main Street program helps to strengthen small businesses in downtown Trenton by enhancing their digital presence and capabilities through increased access to digital tools like e-commerce. Again, 25 businesses have received grants to make improvements there. Thank you very much. And we're at the Shop Local campaign. Okay. Okay. The COVID impact, we've got increased operation budget for 2020. The city used a 1.7 million out of 2.3 that we received from the provincial and federal government to offset our costs and minimize the impact of the city's budget. Lost revenues for us, bag tags, parking revenues, arena sports field and park rentals, 200,000, interest-free past due payments, 150,000, interest revenue down due to low interest rates, community groups, the YMCA and the youth center, COVID renovations and protective equipment, 220,000, marina revenue down 160, capital projects, additional COVID measures have cost us 75,000, but we're still looking ahead and we'll do our best to make things even better. Business and retention expansion project. The city received 13,000 from the province through the RED development program to conduct a business retention and economic development project. The project that focus on the commercial retail and technology sectors within the city. The consultant recently completed the interview process. The results of the survey are currently being reviewed. Final presentation report will take place in March. 25, okay. Tourism development strategy. MDB Insight is a consulting firm, has been hired to produce the tourism development strategy and have started the process. Both Quinny West residents and tourism stakeholders will be engaged. The action-oriented strategy would give direction and align with the city's new strategic plan. The plan is expected to be completed by the end of April. And of course, we're looking at pop-ups. We're hoping to have, I know we've got some interest right now, and we're hoping that it will go well this summer, hoping for good weather, of course. Allow for the safe social distancing and while meeting the COVID-19 protocols, beginning Friday, June the 4th and ending Sunday, September the 5th, 2021. 3 wooden shed units that will host unique vendors, as well as 3 gourmet food trucks. Vendor applications available on the Quinny West website and our social media pages. These units will provide additional opportunities to host other unique businesses. Okay. Digital Main Street, that's of course, this is the one where okay. City has launched public Wi-Fi in downtown again, as I mentioned, and that's a $15,000 cost. The Digital Main Street program helps strengthen all businesses in downtown and enhancing the digital presence and capabilities through increased access to digital tools. 25 businesses have received grants through this program. And Local Love Your Local campaign has provided social media promotion and support for to manufacturers, small business and retail, nonprofit, and community supporters in Quinny West. In total, 42 businesses, organizations, and residents were highlighted. Over 200,000 people were reached in this campaign alone. 200, that's fantastic. In industrial and commercial attraction, yes, we've added some more industrial land, and we also are fortunate that we've just sort of recently sold some. So the city recently sold 5 acres in the North Murray Industrial Park to Brian's Farms Auction Service to construct a 40,000 square foot building. And they do the online auctions, been great. We've sold some vehicles through there for the city and had great results. Carrying Place Industrial Park design and servicing work is being completed. It's not quite ready, but close. And the city attended many grand openings in 2020 and are optimistic that the trend will continue in 2021. Thank you. Capital projects in 2021, $21 million. The Carrying Place Industrial Road, 600,000, Hamilton Road, 1.6 million, water meter automation, 600,000, and that has been postponed right now until we clear this COVID situation. Arterial road servicing program from last 10-year capital plan, So yes, it's one that we planned, but we're continuing on. 62 million ongoing funding partnership. I'm sorry, the 62 million was for the resurfacing, and that's a ongoing project. Ongoing funded partnerships with EORN, Cell Gap Project 2020. Yes, and just recently, I know the federal government has come forth to help support this project to move forward, which is great. I know you might have seen some confusion there, but I had a meeting yesterday and that's going forward. Broadband project, that's the one we just talked about, Cell Gap as well. Marina fueling station, tank replacement, and park area refurbishment. That's Fraser Park, and we're working at that, as well as doing our best to make sure fueling can happen and also be safe. Fire dispatch, consolidation with Belleville, and help to increase our delivery service. Okay. The old Quinny West OPP detachment, a new build, which is great, built by Task Force Engineering, on time and on budget. And thank God it was, because we were able to move in there on the 26th of February, just before the lockdown. And as a result of that, we had people working in a very safe environment, and still are. So congratulations to all involved in that project, getting it done on time and on budget. So that's great news. Yeah, and also with our police force today, you're not just looking at speeders and so on, you're looking at all the ramifications of situations that involve people. And we've got many community organizations who can use our facility to help, and they're there to help with the OPP and any situations that develop, whether it be mental health or whatever. So that's a big asset, and I thank you very much for the work you're doing and the training and being able to work with people who, yes, unfortunately may have fallen off the rails or off the tracks, and with a little help can get back on, get on and enjoy life in a great manner. So thank you. Okay, planning and building. Yeah, this certainly is proving to be quite interesting in 2020. Yes, you travel around, you see many of our subdivisions. The new builds or the vacant lots have sold signs on them, and developers are doing their best to build the houses that are required, but keeping up is difficult. But they're doing their best. I know they are. 2020, 808 building permits for 92.3 million, compared to 169 million and 974 permits in 2019. So we're down a little in value, but we're certainly up in volume. It's affecting the numbers, and it's affecting the supply of materials, the labor force, everything. Labor is something that's needed. Quality, skilled laborers are needed in so many areas. So if you know people that can get back out there or are available, yeah, I know that they'll find work here. The Dundas Pumping Station, Force Main and River Crossing, you may have seen that. That took place over the last year. Pretty almost completed, or I guess you'd say it's completed, with a few things that have to be touched up in the spring. $17.5 million project. And when we came across the river crossing, we had to do some blasting. With the modern technology and so on, the blasting was done very, very well. So much so that people didn't even know, and maybe many of you didn't know that it even took place. But it is, and it's from the west end right through to the plant, and it had to be done. It wasn't a matter of if or when, it was something that had to be done. And so thanks to Matt Tracy and all his staff for doing their best to make this happen, get it done on time and on budget. That's great work. That's a big one. Of course, that because of getting this done, you're able to develop the West End out where Nick Stakos and Mark Clemency Developments, Stakos Developments, and many others are working out through there. And this allows the waste water to come right through to the plant. So safely, not just, yeah, safely. So Frankfurt Water Link, this one here, this will be completed in 2021. That's taking the water up from Glen Meadow all the way up through to Frankfurt, joining with the Frankfurt quality water. And that provides us with loops throughout the city from Bayside east, from Bayside back into Trenton. We can take Bayside water, bring it in here, or we can turn some valves and Trenton water can go to Bayside, or Bayside to Trenton, and then to Frankfurt, and Frankfurt back down through Ottawa and back to. So we've got a complete circuit. That means that if something becomes low or water low or something breaks, we can still feed the people quality water. Thanks very much. That's a great project. Montpelion, again, we had the tower up, the water tower up there, and we've taken it, not the water tower, that water reservoir. It's come down, so as a result of it coming down, a new tower has been placed, and that's of course part of our communication system, part of our broadband, and so on. So that's a great one, and that also has cameras up there and fire communication. The city, that was $100,000 project. The city also received $200,000 to expand the closed circuit television camera system. And so right now there are 32 cameras currently added with this grant, and this grant will help expand 14. So we got 32 and we're adding 14. So and those cameras that we're talking about there for security are mostly related to I guess you'd say traffic coming off the 401 and into the city, so that they can track particular vehicles that someone may have spotted on the 401, and should they happen to get off, we've got cameras to help identify them and locate. So that's another safety aspect for our city. Thanks very much for everyone working on that project. King Street Revitalization. This is again, this was a joint project from all three levels of government. We've completed phase 1. That's where we are right now. You see in that picture David Joyce, myself, Neil Ellis, yeah, Chris Angelo, and the other gentleman with the vest is from Cobra Developments, another great company that's done great work for us. So we've got phase 1 done, and that it included a full road reconstruction and replacement of 2 traffic lights, 2 sets of lights, and an active transportation plan. And now the next slide will show you the remaining of King Street all the way up to Catherine Street and up to the high school. So this is improving the water and wastewater up to Catherine Street, up through the hospital, and up to the health hub, that's being built up there as well. So that's because you've got to, we have old infrastructure, and every time you touch something, you find that the best thing to do is to remove it and replace it with the new. And if you happen to have the opportunity to see some of the old, you'll see that the inside of the pipes are corroded such that if they were 3 or 4 or 5 inches in diameter, you're lucky if you got an inch left for water flow. So that's what happens. Again, this Catherine King Street West project will be done in 2021, and this project again is 1.85 million. The original project on King was almost 3 million, and this one adds another 1.85 million to that stretch of road. Yeah, when you're looking at things today, it's not everything's a million plus this. But listen, we have to do it. And we're doing it, and doing it to the best of our ability. And I know, and you know, that the hospital, or this where we're looking at right now, is not only used well, but needed. And we are assured by Quinny Healthcare that there are many improvements that will be taking place at Trent Memorial Hospital over the next few years. So I know they're expanding the emerge and patient services. So that's great news, and we'll come to some later for that. So thank you. Okay, the trail along trail on Trentport Marina, fantastic trail, and being so well used. And you'll see this is part of our waterfront master plan project, and it's great. It's working well. Ontario government also community cycling program as part of this, and also a 45,000 donation for the Trenton Rotary Club. And thanks for Frank, and I can't tell who the other gentleman is, but he's got a good hand. He's holding on that end of the check, and we're not sending it back anyway. So, but the trail extends from City Hall south to Dufford Avenue, right up to Research Castings, and the Millennium Trail that extends to the Murray Canal and Wellers Bay will go on from Research Casting, or does. It's a 3-meter asphalt trail for walking, cycling, and combined with solar lighting. We looked at conventional lighting, and it was far too expensive. So we were able to locate some really good quality, reasonably priced solar powered lights. So we put those up, and they're doing well. We also have fitness equipment, picnic area, and landscaping features all down through there. And again, this project was also done by Scott Wentworth, and the city worked closely with Trent Cold Storage, and we were able to put everything together. There's some shoreline improvements that will be done in the next year or so. But again, as I said from the start, we're stronger together. We're stronger together. And thanks to all those who have made this happen. It's a fantastic trail and really well used. Well used. Thank you. Okay, we're looking at this again. This is part of our trail expansion from. This is proposed Waterford Trail expansion from Bean Park right to the Centennial Park. So we got a couple of options here. Depends on what we can work out with everyone. We will either go down by the water when we hit the trailer park, or we'll try to work something out so we can get through the trailer park. You'll see a conceptual design there, and proposal includes asphalt, paved lighting and pathway, trail enhancements, pedestrian bridge crossing over the India Creek, pathway markers, and fitness pods along the route. And we're waiting for Conservation Authority to comment on constraints or concerns with the proposal. Staff will be meeting on site with the consultants to fine-tune the trail location and amenities. So city to conduct stakeholder meetings and commence a community engagement process. So another great project, just getting started, but we'll look forward to it. These are some of the conceptual images that you'll see on this trail as we proceed to develop it. Again, this is part of the conceptual drawings and visualizations that will be along that trail. Yeah. These, hopefully all of these are posted on our website, so you can get a chance to look at them closer and so on. But again, solar powered lighting, fantastic new inventions, and I guess you wouldn't say they're new, they've been around for a while, but they're new to us and what we're using. So, in other words, conceptual design, that's showing a trail through the trailer park, possibly. Well, again, more conceptual drawings and looking from different directions. Conceptual site plan. More and more conceptual site plan. Okay, we're at Stonecrest Development, Stonecrest Subdivision, and this is another great project, completely accessible. Yes, yeah, and this was $160,000. Everything we do is so reasonable, you know. But this has got workout stations, a concrete pathway, and a large playground as well. The city allocates $80,000 from development fees for each new playground that is installed in a new subdivision. So $80,000 into that. But developers, in this case, also came forth and developed or donated a fair amount of money so that we could upgrade that Centennial or Stonecrest Park. So I know Andy Gertzville was the guy that was there when I was there, and he contributed to it. And I know Miron Holmes Miron Homes, I should say. They also were a contributor, and I'm not sure if there may have been other developers as well. But this project has been a great one. Andy stuck with this. This has got to be a 15-year project. Started out as 3-strand development. 2 of the strands decided to drop out. Andy bought it from the other two investors and carried on with it. Just kept pushing and pushing, and it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well done, and yeah, as it's showing right now, we need it. We need it, and we're enjoying it. Thank you, Andy, and thanks to all the rest. Okay, 2021 Capita Projects. We're looking at $37.7 million. Yeah. County Road 64 Revitalization, 1.6 million. We've started work on that in the fall, not finished yet. Trenton Frankfurt Road, another $1.5 million that we're working on. Ola Road Bridge, that's not the one in front of us, that's 5 million. We've got to do work on the Ola Road Bridge, or we're headed for trouble. Wallbridge Loyalist Bridge is 600,000 kilometers. I'm sorry, $600,000. Yeah, if it was that long, I wouldn't be able to. We would never be able to do it. Dufferin Avenue, 1.3 million, and new city website is 150,000. So those are the capital projects for 2021. County Road 64, Trenton Frankfurt Road, Wola Road Bridge, Wallbridge Loyalist Road, Dufferin Avenue, and the city website. So, but there are other ones that we're doing too. So that's, we got the amphitheater. Okay, the amphitheater. This is a project completion date of July the 1st, 2021. Hopefully, budget of 450,000. And Bob Wanamaker was a great advocate for the amphitheater and everything there. And I'm hoping that we can do something to recognize Bob later on, council with some ideas and come up with something that's relative. Bob was a great promoter of the arts and music and so on. So no, just stay to that one for a minute. What we're doing here is doing a new layout, so to speak, and hopefully that what we call an outward facing accessible washrooms and washrooms in the building as well. So interior washrooms also would be included for staff and performers, and also hopefully having some office space in there. Thank you. Okay, here we go here. This is our, that's the city car that I drive, and it now has 60,000 kilometers on it. And excuse me. Just to tell you how valuable electricity is and the way we're going in the future is electric vehicles. This car now has 60,000 kilometers on it. I have a charging station at home, and I don't even know what it costs because my wife pays the hydro bill, but she's not complaining about it. The fact is that with the 60,000, I have used 1,300 liters of fuel, 1,300 liters of fuel, and all the rest of the kilometers provided by the electricity. And this is one of the most remarkable vehicles. I'm sure there are others that are even better, but this one price was I thought quite reasonable, and we got a grant. But 60,000 kilometers, and we've done nothing. We've changed the oil in the motor that runs the generator. We've changed the oil twice, and we had to put solenoid in the fuel tank because it wouldn't let me put gas into it. So it didn't even want it in the tank. So anyways, that's all the repairs that have been done at 60,000 kilometers. I think that's remarkable. And I'm looking forward to the future. And I know that the government is coming forth with more and more electric vehicles. Thank you. and us also with charging stations throughout the city. We're adding more and more charging stations so that we can charge our vehicles. Plus, I'm sure there'll be a design so you can put a credit card in and use them as well. Okay. Again, we're looking at Quinny Access. We got money from federal government, provincial government to help improve our Quinny Access. Expansion public transit to link to Belleville. And I want to thank Neil Ellis and Todd Smith for pushing for us and supporting us so that we could get that money. 500,000 from the Community Investment Fund for capital and infrastructure. We got, including that design and implementation process to start in 2021 and help to move transit system towards a regional approach where we can link up with Belleville, or we can get our riders so that they can get to a bus stop in Belleville and hop onto another bus, take them to different locations, different appointments and so on, and also get back. So that's a great plus for us. And I can tell you that Quinny Access has a great protocol in place to support eliminating the virus. So don't be afraid to use it, because that was continuously cleaning. Quinny Access, Quinny West received 21,000 to help us with the routes and cleanliness, and newly improved on-demand transit as well as what we've been using, and so this will help us to increase our ridership, and that way reduce our costs. So yeah, it's just, I think that's that's about it. Yeah, that's great. And another really important part that we started a few years ago, and sure glad we did. And in fact, actually, when I was first elected mayor, it hit me. What are we going to do for doctors? What about the hospital? What are we going to do? How are we going to get? Man, I thought that it was time to escape. But we got Trent Memorial Hospital, our TMH, who are now in the neighborhood of 20,000 plus members. Just do everything they can to support the frontline workers and support the doctors and support Paula. Paula is working all the time, constantly, to help us improve and attract physicians to here. And I believe that Quinny Healthcare is working as well with us to help us. So I can tell you that Paula currently working with 78 prospects, fantastic, who are at varying levels of education, from undergrads to practicing physicians. Of these prospects, 5 new physicians were recently successfully recruited, 5 new ones, and currently in negotiations with 5 other physicians and 3 medical residents. I just can't thank you enough for all you're doing. Can't thank you enough. Fantastic work, Paula, and keep at it. Yes, residents are very thankful when they get that opportunity to have a family doctor. Yes, continued partnership with 8 Wing Military Family Services to assist in matching military families with healthcare providers. To date, nearly 250 military families, have been matched with local physicians and nurse practitioners. Continued partnership with Quinny Healthcare to assist in the recruitment of physicians to staff the Trent Memorial Hospital emergency department and inpatient unit. Partnered with Bay of Quinny Tourism to create a video on physician recruitment to be used for marketing and promotional materials, promotional purposes, and also to assist local physicians with succession planning for the retirements, as well as helping to coordinate coverage for 2 physicians who retired this year. And you know, like it's yeah, yeah, it's just fantastic what we've been able to do. And yes, there's room for more, and there sure is, and people are going to keep on with it. So that's just great. And I thank all those people. I thank all the first line workers who are out there, doctors, nurses, paramedics, grocery store clerks. You know, they're all there trying to do their best and trying to keep us all safe. And I've likely left some out, you know, but I thank them all profusely, and all the people who are helping to make it happen. I thank you as well. Keep it up. The Health Hub, you know, another great addition to this area. So just to recap a few of the things that have happened in Quinny with our healthcare system recently, and I have to thank the governments provincially in most cases, but federal for coming through and helping any way they can. But you know, we were able to improve the base budget for Quinny Healthcare. That base budget has been underfunded for at least 15 years. Finally, we've got the provincial government to increase and improve that funding by, I think, either a 6% in that area, or several $1 million. Fantastic. We've also got improvements to our ER in Trent Memorial, as well as the patient services. They're also doing improvements at the ICU in Belleville, in improving and increasing the number of beds there as well. Fantastic. A new build in Picton, great. And Quinny West is on the list right after Picton, so be ready. And of course, we're looking at the Quinny Healthcare Hub. This is another project that just right around the $14 million project up on Catherine Street. And this is what it'll look like when it's finished. And there'll be a number of different healthcare providers in that building. There'll be primary healthcare, physiotherapy, chiropody, dietitian, mental health services, health promotion and prevention, chronic disease management. So those are all some of the things that'll be there. And I'm sure that as time goes on, we'll add to it. So, you know, there's just only more and more. And here's Sheila Bradek and Michelle Osborne, who worked for Quinny Healthcare, and Sheila's working with the. I shouldn't say that. She's working with the Health Hub, and she is a board of directors. And Michelle Osborne is on that board, and I think she's in the financial department. So again, you know, just so thankful that we were able to help them. I don't know whether you remember when they first started up there, somebody come up with the idea that the soil was contaminated, and we said we were sure it wasn't. Actually, we had some other work done up there, so we were really adamant that it was not contaminated. Anyways, along the short of it, a little bit of asphalt, but nothing serious. So we're now at hospice. Oh, okay, this is a beginning stage of the Health Hub. Yeah, a little more of the Health Hub and Trent Memorial Hospital, and now we're at Quinny Hospice. Quinny Hospice. Wow. Yeah, Quinny Hospice, Quinny Heart and Home Build Project. This was our share to help it move ahead. Actually, Quinny West donated the land and also a fair amount of money. I have to thank all the council, but particularly the Sydney Ward councillors who saw the need and said, we'll just jump on board with this. And they had some money in reserves and used those reserves to help us move forward. So, and I have to thank John Whalen, who's on the fundraising campaign, and pay tribute to the Williams family for all that they've done as well to provide funds for the Hospice Quinny facility. So again, thank you very much. And yeah, we're looking forward to it being done. We donated $1 million along with the land and the permit fees in support of this project. So we're certainly a big part of it, as well as Belleville is as well. So it's a joint project, and God help us. We hope we never have to use it, but we know it's one of those things, one of those situations. Thank you. And again, got a businessman. His name is Phillips. I don't know whether you've seen on the Willow Road. I received an email a few weeks ago. Somebody asked me when the hotel was going to open. I said, I'm not sure exactly when it's opening, but I'll make sure you get a chance to get on the reservation list. No, I'm just kidding. Mark's building a new house on the Willow Road, but this is what he does on a regular basis. He works for everybody in this city. He's out there thinking of, he's got ideas every day of how we can make things just a little bit better. And this is just one of them. And our veterans, we have a large number of veterans who live in Quinny West, and we thank them for their years of service, their dedication, and we're proud of what they've done, and we're a proud military city. Yes, I am. I'm very proud to be here, proud of Colonel Deming, how he showed us last year how we can get out of this COVID, and he put a policy together, and yes, it worked. And just to mention, the Golden Hawks and the Dukes, John McDonald and Randy Ewens, again with those two hockey teams, put a process together and said, we're going to follow it and we're going to make this work. And they did. And I attended one game I wasn't able to make, but I made the rest of them. And I congratulated the boys, the young men on those teams, and everybody associated, because they followed the policies. They wore a mask during the game. And I don't know whether you know this, but John and Randy had a fact sheet on every player. So they knew where they were every day and what they had done. And they signed it. They signed it. And then they had a game. They had a real fantastic game and a presentation and a dedication to the veterans and to Jennifer Casey in particular, who was killed on one of the snowbird planes this summer. So fantastic tribute to our military. And that they raised $16,000 for Soldiers On. You know, as I said, we're stronger together. Yes, we are. And if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far, you go together. And I can tell you right now that process that those two teams put together worked. And they played 8 games, and then the Hawks played 2 more, no cases. And right now the NHL is using the same process. Thanks guys. I love those young men and how professional they're dealt with and so on. Oh, here we go. This is tree planting. This is another big project that we took on last year. Again, this is part of our veterans. I didn't get to mentioning, but we did have the banner on the bridge signifying the veterans, veterans in this area. This is our tree planting campaign, and it was started by Mark Cullen. Mark is right there beside me with the mask on, and then we have Carolyn Maroney and Todd Smith and so on, and I can't tell all the other ones, but I know we have a veteran police officer there and obviously a veteran military member. So Mark came to me with this project to build to plant 2 million trees along the Highway of Heroes. And I thought, this is fantastic. No, who should support it but a military city like us? Yes, we should. And we should be proud to do that. So we stepped up to the plate with a $100,000 commitment to this project. And this was over a period of years that we would do this. But Mark has completed this project, as he has 2 million trees, recognizing 2 million veterans. And he had a goal to raise $10 million. And I can tell you that he has reached that goal. He has reached the goal. And I can't show you, but there was a tree someplace out in this picture but anyways, it was a Vimy oak. And you want to follow that because a soldier brought home an acorn or some acorns from Battle of Vimy Ridge. And that's how that Vimy oak got started. So again, I salute the military. Yes, there are very few municipalities can boast an air show every day. Yes, sir, every day. Okay, thank you. Okay, and again, Quinny West is the best. That's I love that picture. Brad Doonan did that one with yeah. Uh, I have had meetings with our ministerial association, and they pray for all of us on a regular basis. And this just shows the light that we work under, maybe the visions that we have and how we accomplish things. Thank you very much. I'm likely over time, but thank you very much. Appreciate this opportunity. Again, thanks to everyone who helps us. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. That was a great presentation. There's always so much going on in the city. And I think this has given us a good overview. I do have a couple of questions for you. One of them, I know that there was an article in the newspaper last week that the city of Quincy West was receiving just over $4 million from the province in some infrastructure funding. Is that new money, or is that money that was already included as part of the capital plans for 2021?
I'm gonna turn that over to David Glazy.
Sure, thanks, Mr. Mayor. Yes, Suzanne, to you and the rest of the chamber, that is money that we were hoping to get but had not budgeted for, and we can actually carry that forward into 2022. So it certainly gives us a very good starting point moving into 22. We've already approved our 21 budget, and we didn't account for it, so we have that to help us move forward for sure.
Well, that's great when we look at those fantastic plans that the city has for the waterfront development from Centennial Park along that eastern part of the city. I think that is going to be money you're going to have no trouble finding projects for, that's for sure. Another question I had also was, you mentioned that the city was going to be putting some charging stations throughout the city. Do you have locations picked for those yet, or is that something that you'd like to hear from the business community about where they think these charging stations should be?
Yeah, I'll give you two answers. First of all, yes, we do have charging stations in the city. And I want to ask a question. We have two at the police station, at the OPP station, and we have actually 2 or 4 at our operations center. So that's where we have them now, and we're going to be including. But listen, we're open to suggestions. David, correct? I know we've got some locations, but you want to go ahead and answer that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We did have a report. I think it went in November or December to our corporate committee with some proposed locations that we're looking at. But certainly, if anybody has any ideas or suggestions, please send them through and we can take a look at them for sure.
What's our guess estimate is $1,000 to install one, approximately? I think that's.
Yeah, I think they're slightly more than that, and part of it depends on how close we have power to where we want to put them. So I know a couple of our locations we have to actually bring in a new hydro service to hook them up to, and that also complicates and takes a little longer. But
just another comment before you go to the next question. I didn't mention this, but we got our budget out early, and we were able to, because of that, we were able to pick up a demonstrator triaxle dump truck for the operations for public works, and we were able to get that out of Kingston about 50,000 less than estimated or guesstimated, or and also at the same time we were able to find a demonstrator fire truck that we're able to purchase at approximately the same saving, having on it what we need. And the advantage is we tendered 2 vehicles back in February, and we just got them now. We tendered a triaxle and a single axle truck for the operations center, just arriving. And that's the problem that you're running into with everything. It's the same with equipment, same with tractors, same with everything. the supply, nobody has an inventory. So, well,
So if I know that, the city is obviously making some investments to switch to a hybrid or electric vehicles going forward. And I know many businesses are looking at those same sorts of, those same kinds of decisions, especially if they have a fleet of vehicles and things like that. If anybody is looking to be putting in electric charging stations, is there a way that they can, consult with the city? Because you've obviously done your research already, you've already been looking into certain things. Is there somebody within City Hall that businesses could reach out to just to find out, sort of what the city already knows about this and what would work in our community?
sure. Reach David, and he'll likely turn around and reach Chris Henslow and so on. But this is all great. It's just that it's like our solar panels and so on. It's all yes. There's a lot of research involved in trying to make things fit together. Yeah. Okay,
there is also a question that came in from Aaron Cromwell. He was talking about the mission, the priorities within. I'm assuming he's talking about this, the mission statements that were in the strategic plan. He's asking if these were ordered priorities or just general priorities. I'm not sure if you can answer that.
So I can answer that. So they weren't necessarily in any particular order. When we put that plan together, we did do a fair bit of public consultation. So that was some of the feedback we received from the public on kind of our 5 biggest main priorities. And I can say that we're actively working on parts of each of those, all those priorities right now. So they weren't, when I went through them 1 through 5, that wasn't necessarily an order. As far as we're concerned, they're our top 5 for the city, and we're working on all of them as best we can moving forward.
And I just noticed that Donna from the Comfort Inn has put in the chat that they would be happy to host a charging at one of the city's charging centers at the hotels. And I think that's something that would be part of a tourism strategy perhaps for the city, is to make sure that our hotels, especially our branded hotels that have got a wider appeal to people from outside of this region coming here, for them to get charging stations, at their different hotels. And speaking of the tourism strategy, I know that it's a growing sector in Quinny West. We've got a really great base of construction and manufacturing, and I know that tourism is still pretty much in its infancy in our community when we look at the other sectors that have been around for a much longer period of time. I know that there's a chance for businesses and the people to put their input into that strategy. I didn't know if that's something that you wanted to mention. I know it's going to be released soon.
Yeah, I don't know whether you want to answer, Dave. You want to go ahead?
As far as I know, that I think.
David, it's Hannah. I could jump in on that.
Sure, perfect.
Good, Hannah. Good.
So we have engaged a consultant to work with us to develop a tourism strategy for the city of Quinte West. And there is a survey that was released today, and we're asking residents of Quinte West to engage with the survey. It's available through our social media channels and on our website.
Perfect. I know that the consultant is reaching out to stakeholders in tourism, so different groups and different businesses that are sort of invested in tourism. But I know that tourism affects much more than just those that are in that sector. So I think it's great that the survey is out there. So you heard, Hannah, it is live today. So I would encourage many of our businesses that are on the call today just to get involved with that, and let's look at what we can develop in Quinte West for tourism, because what's good for tourists is good for the residents of Quinte West as well, and it helps with workforce attraction and doctor attraction and everything. When we've got a beautiful community that people want to move to, or that want to come and visit, then makes it a great place to live as well. So That's great. So there's lots going on between the strategic plan and the tourism strategy and the infrastructure plans. Certainly so much that, we should be excited about in our community. And I wanted to thank you both for joining us today to make sure that the business community gets that update, understands what's going on at the city. It has been a challenging time with COVID-19. We're all doing things a little bit differently, but the city is in good hands. And on behalf of our 440 members, we're really excited about the future and how we can work together. The big plans around trail development and all the other opportunities that we've mentioned today, it looks like a really busy time ahead for council and for city staff. As an accredited Chamber of Commerce, we look forward to using our expertise to work with the city and support the Quinny West business community as we're going to work together to recover from the impact of COVID-19. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. This has been recorded and it is going to be showing up on your TV later tonight and next week. It's going to be available on YouTube, and we want to be able to share this out and make sure everybody knows all the fantastic things that are happening in Quincy West. So thank you. Any closing comments from either of you?
Well, yeah. When we had the hockey game in, I guess in support of the veterans and Jennifer Casey, Carrie Trudeau was there, and Carrie bought a sweater, had it signed, and sent it to Scott Casey in British Columbia, who is Jennifer's cousin. And I bought a sweater and I sent mine to General Hillier. And I sent it to him for his work and from a proud military mayor. Just, yeah. Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity.
David, any closing thoughts from you?
Just thank you once again for inviting me to be part of this and to help bring some information forward from the city to everybody.
Okay. Well, on behalf of our sponsor, the Center for Workforce Development, thank you. Thanks for the update. We will see you again next year. Let's keep our fingers crossed that as much fun as this was virtually, it's way more fun when we have 100 people in the room. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to the mayor and to the CAO. And I saw that the mayor had his finger up. I think he has one more thought.
Well, yeah, just that the food's good too, you know.
That's right.
And I didn't thank a farmer today, but I should have. Thanks to all the farmers who work hard to keep us healthy. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.